Hello and welcome to the show. I am here today playing another one of the all-time great classic driving games. It is a Colin Mcrae Rally 3. This series, the Colin Mcrae Rally series, is pretty much the reason I got into racing games in the first place. So I was, very keen to come back to it. I picked this game up for about £1, which is not exactly much to go and have all of the nostalgia. Once again, I think I played a lot more of 2 than I did of 3, if I seem to remember correctly. But nevertheless, we are going to have a look at this game. It's been a hell of a long time since I had played this one. Was very much looking forward to having a go with it. I did play through. I started the championship mode, as it's called on here, and played through the Australian Rally. Australia is in sort of pretty much almost every single rally game of all time. It tends to be like the starting point for everything. So yeah, I played through Australia just kind of get a feel for the game a little bit. We join now in Spain. I can't say I remember the Spanish Rally being a thing, particularly in the previous rally games. But yeah, that's where we're headed to now. I do love the little details with this. You can skip through all these little cutscenes if you want, but I do love that they have these little details for kind of the start line. They'll have the start of the rallies, and if you get onto the podium and so on. It is quite a neat little thing. This is a Tarmac rally. Okay, I never tended to be very good at. I had my set rallies that I was good at on the old games. Australia, I was good at. Anything with Tarmac, I was generally pretty awful at. What was the other? Wales, I was mediocre at. Basically, if it was kind of mud and dirt, I wasn't particularly good at. If it was tarmac, I was terrible, and if it was gravel, I was relatively okay. So, sort of Australia, Greece, I can't remember all of them now. It changes quite regularly, I think, what countries the rallies go to, so it changes year on year as to what came in the Colin Mcrae games and so on. So yeah, but that's basically how things used to go, and it's a little bit how things go now on here. The handling is slightly peculiar. Oh, I quite like that. They've got cars going around on the motorway down there that we're about to go over. That's quite some quite nice little details. I said, lots of little details on here. But yes, the car handling is a slight bit odd. It took me quite a while to get the hang of, or to try and get the hang of the way that this car it drives. It kind of moves about across the road in a slightly peculiar manner. That's not going to help my times, but playing around in the dirt, not a good idea. Yeah, the front end does have a lot of grip. That is a big off-camber corner. Oh, we've eaten a ditch. Things have not gone well. I tried to boot it and get myself out of there. I could not quite manage it. Well, we are free. We lost a fair bit of time. That's not particularly good. Yeah, the handling, the front end of the car gets turned into corners really well, and then the back end kind of, it feels very disconnected in some respects. Oh no, careful, bloody hell. Yeah, I've been trying to think of a way to describe it and a way to compare it to something, but yeah, it just feels a slight bit disjointed. It's much better when you're on gravel. On tarmac, I think on tarmac there's so much more grip in general. The game is much happier having you sort of taking big slides around the corners. Certainly in the dirt races, dirt stages, you really can chuck the car about and carry lots of speed very sideways through the corners, whereas on these tarmac stages the car has actually got grip. It doesn't really like doing that particularly. So yeah, the handling, I don't remember it being like this, but it was a long time ago that I played it, and if I remember rightly I was playing it on a keyboard as a kid, so it was probably not something that I ever particularly noticed. It was just, ooh, cars and racing, so I was fine with that. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a peculiar hand. I'm sure if I spent plenty of time, I'm awful at that first stage. I apologise. That was some terrible driving. Yeah, I'm sure with a bit of time I would kind of get used to the peculiarities of the hand. We got beaten by the Impreza by quite a margin. There are only 2 of us running in this. Is that I don't think that's normally how rallies work. Normally you have more than 2 cars competing over them. Never mind. We will move on to stage 2. Hopefully try and not suck so awfully at this one. I am playing this, the first time you play through the championship mode, you have to play it on the normal difficulty. It doesn't give you an option to change it. So it's the easiest difficulty that the game has. And while I did fairly well at Australia, it seems here is not going to be the case. Oh, there we go. Now we've got more people in the field. I'm down in 5th overall. It could have gone worse. I got the car back in one piece, which is always good, really, in a rally game. The handling will take some getting used to, and perhaps it's a little bit of a letdown, because I remember this game being the most amazing thing at the time. Now I come back to play it, and it is handling is a little wonky. It's very arcadey in many respects. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It makes it nice and accessible for everyone. You can really throw the car about a lot. There is so much grip available in the vehicle. I was just not quite expecting it to drive in the way that it does. Everything else though about the game is pretty much as good as I remember it. Yes, this is a whoopsie daisy. Things have got a bit wrong here. Yes, it's quite dated. It doesn't look as pretty as modern games. That's to be expected, really. You got stuff kind of just about popping in from distance, but for its age, there are still some pretty damn impressive views and some pretty damn impressive stages around for you to kind of explore and whatnot. Relatively short stages we seem to have been getting here. Oh, no. Foot down. We can save it. Come on, focus. You can climb out of that ditch. There we go. Perhaps being a little bit too brave, because I know you don't really have to do too much in the way of braking. Although being on the tarmac would probably help my cause no end in this particular one. Despite my exploring there, somehow I am still leading the rally. Maybe that first stage is just a bad one for me, because that was some mega exploring. And okay, never mind. Yeah, there are some pretty impressive views around here, and there's great variety in the events. I believe as you go through the career mode, the countries change slightly. I think there are 6. There are 6 countries per championship, but there's 8 countries overall in the game. So there is a little bit of variety in all of that, as I'm getting things a little bit scary coming down the hill. Oh god, we're leading, but we are losing. We're losing tenths of a second to sector. We could really do with a strong finish around here. So the stages are as good as I remembered, and they're quite nice and varied. Yes, the Australian rally is all in the dust and whatnot, but the actual stages themselves are quite distinctive. They've got their own different challenges and whatnot. Hey, we got a victory in that one. And here in Spain, we've got varying challenges around the course. I see how this works. I've just figured it out. Sorry, it's not 2 cars running. It's that I'm going second in the order, which means that by the time I cross the line, only 2 cars show up. So if I don't know if I had to wait whether it would have them come through. Let's just click continue, and you can then tell me afterwards quite how awfully I'm doing overall. The stages themselves are interesting enough. They've got the rally hazards that you would expect, jumps and water splashes and dodgy cambers, and you can get the car stuck in a ditch and you can smack it off trees and whatnot, and they're all pretty good fun to race around. It also has the super special stages, the old sort of stadium-based races where it's kind of 1v1. That will finish off each of the rallies, I believe. So we have 5 stages, 5 normal stages, like this one, and then it goes to the special stage in a stadium to finish off, which is it's quite a nice little thing to have the races. Also, I do like this little detail. It tells you what sort of parts on your car are damaged, and damage is quite a big important thing on here. So brakes are all kind of low damage. I've clipped a couple of things. I haven't hit anything too hard though, which is always good. Yeah, actual car damage is a very, very big part of this game. And again, you've got to consider how old it was. The damage model and whatnot was way, way ahead of its time. There's nothing really quite like it. Not that I have crashed into anything on here, and I'm not going to deliberately crash. There's a high chance I'm going to end up in the trees at some point around here. But yeah, the vehicles do buckle and bend, and I think they can lose body parts. I think you could lose wheels and get punctures and so on. I'm not sure if the wheel could fall off, whether you could just get a puncture. I think I remember doing that. But yeah, the actual damage model is very, very good on here. So there really is a fear of ploughing your car off the road. You can't just bounce it around off the walls that you could with a lot of games of this kind of time. You did have to be quite careful. I've clipped a couple of things. I think we have... just about got away with things. And there's other little details as well. And certainly as I've played more and more of these classic games, you notice lots of little things. The dirt on the cars carries over from event to event. So when you go, we go through a service stop, I think the car gets cleaned. But on the rest of the stages, it'll keep the dirt that you've had from it in the previous stage. It'll accumulate over the course of a race. You go through a water splash, it cleans the car off and stuff. Just little things like that, which are quite neat touches. And admittedly, you do notice it more because I'm driving from third person in this one. There is a first-person mode, if I can remember the button to change camera. There we go. There is a first-person mode on here, which is, again, not very many games really had first-person as an option back when this was new. It's very much along the lines of the Tocker games. This is how they did first person modes with crap. I wasn't quite as far across as I thought I was. It's kind of like a dash cam as opposed to a full cockpit camera. You can't see steering wheel and whatnot. I'm not. Oh no, they're not going to be destructible. Okay, no, I lied. They are. Like Brembo sign can come with me. Stop prattling around with cameras would probably be a good idea. You can kind of see what I mean about the damage on the rear fender. I ran wide and clipped that wall. It's a very, very good damage model. And I did love that, I think that might have been a solid tree that we slightly bumped. I was going to say, I did love that the little fences that were around were destructible. I seem to remember other rally games and other racing games, you had these little flimsy plastic fences that if you hit at 100 miles an hour were completely and utterly indestructible. It was kind of cool to have that sort of thing be movable, like the other signs that I hit. Unfortunately, it was slightly less than ideal, smacking into them. Yeah, we did some damage on the car. I don't think I'm actually faring particularly well overall here. Unfortunately, I don't know if it comes in a higher difficulty levels or not, but your vehicle seems to always get fully repaired when you visit one of the repair stops. Now, I seem to remember the Colin Mcrae games, it was always an important thing when you came to the repair halt. You had to, worry about what bits you could repair within the set amount of time. Now, maybe that wasn't in the third one, or as I said, it might be in the higher difficulty championships and so on. It certainly is in some of them, but yeah, I do kind of miss that, unless there is something that I am completely missing. There is quite a lot of car setup options. Again, this was something that I didn't realise back when I was initially playing this game. There's a lot in the way of options. I quite like the way it's done as well, with this sort of wireframe model. So you can change the gear ratios. Actually, we will put... I was looking for where that button was. We can have it back to manual. Tyres are actually quite an important thing. I think you have to go through to unlock them, because I unlocked the hard tarmac tyres for completing the last rally. So I think you get these tyres as you go through the game, and then you can make an informed decision. What do you want to use for the rallies? I do like that. It means you could try and take a gamble on something. It might make you quick through one stage, but the next stage you might not have the opportune tyre. Could make for some interesting strategy calls, and some interesting gambles as well. What do we got in terms of engines? I think these are, again, things that you might unlock as you go through, certainly with the turbos. I want super maxi turbo on my car, please. You can choose to send the power to... Let's see what that does to the car. Sending the power to the rear. You could enable launch control, which I'm not going to. Chassis, again, more things to unlock, to include. Anti-roll bar, you can adjust, apparently that's all you can. Steering sensitivity, and so on. It's a fairly decent number of setup options on here. And as I said, I do like the little wire frame model. But yeah, I believe that is as far as you can do. I don't think there is a repairing thing. Stage info. So if you want to take a look at what you have lying ahead of you, it'll give you information about, well, the weather and I believe the surfaces. So you can make an informed decision as to what you're going to do in regards to tyres, for example. Right, we shall continue the rally. Now, I believe we have weather effects. Not that I've seen any rain on here, but I'm pretty sure there is the likes of... I don't know if it's completely randomised or whether certain stages are a wet stage or quite how it works. You see there's a variation in time of day and so on. Don't know if there are night stages. I can't say I remember. I haven't come across any, but I wouldn't be at all. So actually, yes, I have, because the Super Special stage in Australia was at night, so I assume there might be other night stages around. I'm still currently in 4th, I think it showed up there, which is after my really abysmal first stage. I've kind of come good a little bit in the end. Oh, I forgot that I've now actually remembered to put it to... but it's a manual. Yeah, I was finding that the game, if you do leave it in automatic, the game will often leave the car buzzing in the rev limiter for a little while. But there's an easy solution to, to that one. Now got lots of things to be thinking about and worrying about with all of this. The actual stages themselves are perhaps a little... careful now, don't want to be doing that. Are a little wider and a little bit more forgiving than Dirt Rally. For example, I used Dirt Rally as an example because I thought that did a really good job of making a properly terrifying rally game. But this is not bad, certainly. I was playing V-Rally 3. I've been playing a little bit of that as well, and that had really wide open stages. I'm not 100% sure which way that wanted me to go, so we're going this way. I was busy thinking about other things and didn't quite pay attention. Either the little arrows above that it's quite hard to play rally games and commentate because it's very, very difficult to listen to what the co-driver says while you're talking about other things. So when I play Dirt Rally and when I'm playing this, I'm using the little arrows above. I'm basically just glancing at the arrows, and that's what I'm using as a guide as to what's coming up. It works. Certainly it works better on Dirt Rally than it does on here. At times, certainly the arrows themselves are a little bit misleading on here. The pace notes are not bad at all, and that was one of the things with the old rally games that I was playing. You know, you could often get ones with a little bit dodgy pace notes and whatnot. Pace notes on here were always good. However, yeah, if you're just following the arrows, they can be a little bit misleading and at times a little bit confusing. Sometimes it'll give you what it's showing as a really tight corner actually turns out to be quite an open corner. So yeah, you okay, that's a big bump off of a rock. We're fine. We're still pointing the right direction. So that's the key thing here, really. So yeah, you know, pace notes were good. I will get back to what I was going to say about the stages. The stages are properly tight and narrow. For example, this particular stage is a really good example. A lot of the ones that I was playing on V-Rally, for example, were very... I think one of the stages actually got through without ever touching the brake on it. They were really wide and open, and that was how a lot of games were. But this one actually, you know, properly narrows everything down. It makes it an interesting challenge. You know, you can see, oh god, this is a really nasty bugger. Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit where Dirt Rally got it all from. It's a good challenge. It always was a great challenge. Some of these stages, of course, some of them are wider. Some of the Australian stages, there are some very wide sections of that one, but that is, you know, how the country, how the rallies were around there. Whereas this Spanish one, actually quite like this one now. We become better. That's what we need. We need a really narrow, tight, twisty section. That seems to be when I do better around here. Okay, I will take that one. I think it's I don't know if it's a win for me, because the problem is all the other cars have got to come through, and it doesn't tell me where I finished until we go to the next one, and then it's just giving me an overall thing. So again, unless I'm missing something, which is entirely possible, could be missing something, that, yeah, it's perhaps a little awkward to sometimes follow quite what's going on. We are 2 stages away from completing the Spanish Rally. If we could continue with the very nasty, tight and twisty sections that are just about a car's width, then that would be good. just come to my mind, the Sebastian Loeb Rally demo. God, where was that one? Because that had a stage very, very similar to the one that I just ran. Very similar. Was that Spain? I don't remember where that was set. But yeah, it's got a very, very similar feel to that. I think that's a pretty good testament to how well this game has held up. The car has got a little bit of damage on it. I do believe that kind of my time through here at the moment is, I say pointless. It isn't, but certainly the comparison is a little bit, because it's only comparing me to the first car that's gone through, which is fine if that's the car that I'm racing for victory, but I don't think it is, as I'm pretty sure when I just looked at that leaderboard, I'd lost a fair bit of time. Overall to the leader. I may have gained some time on the Subaru, but yeah, lost some time to the leader, which is slightly less than ideal. Oh, I tried to chuck the car in there, and that did not work. We have got some more time, though. Right, if we can keep this up. Now we've gone back to little bit wider roads, and I'm not as good on here. Try and be brave. You really got to try and be very, very brave with these cars, as they do have quite a lot of grip. You've really got to sort of chuck it through the corners and pray that it's enough to keep it on the road, and that the turn isn't far tighter than you're expecting and you're suddenly ploughing towards a tree. Although admittedly that's kind of how Dirt Rally is, and well, rally games in general are. There we go, that worked. That'll just about do the trick coming into that hairpin. Little panicked, it's fine. I do know where I'm going this time, I really hope. We're back on this road. This is the thing that's, oh yeah, we're gonna go find ourselves in some nice narrow sections. Okay, that works for me, and as I said that, we're probably going to go, again, ploughing off into the sea. What sort of corner is that one? That is an interesting corner. It goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and yeah, it does very suddenly tighten up. They were not lying. On that one, oh, we got a very big slide. Hey, I could do with a lot more practice with this, trying to get used to this handling model. I've been playing too much Dirt Rally and kind of got that one in my head, and yeah, this does not exactly drive the same as Dirt Rally. This is a really okay. No, we've got ourselves... I've done it twice now. I've actually managed to get the car beached in such a way that it doesn't want to get back on the road. That's kind of a strange... We've got a very narrow piece of tarmac, but huge amounts of space either side. No, now turning in far too soon. Okay, my cure for having issues with the handling model on tarmac apparently is to drive off the tarmac. I mean, it kind of works in a way, I guess. Yeah, this one has not gone to plan. It's narrowed up and I'm driving terribly. I prefer my dirt on this game, that much is for sure. Okay, now I've got this, navigate this little section, then we're going to please finish this stage so we can go to the Super Special. I'll probably still have issues there. I wonder if the Super Special stage is going to be on dirt or not. I assume they all are. We will find out in a minute. This is a steep road. There's the corner. Ah, it's all gone horribly wrong to finish with. Yeah, don't get stuck in those ditches. They're as bad as the bloody Finnish ones. Finland, in Dirt Rally I'm talking about here, certainly has some horrendous ditches you can get the cars caught in, and yeah, that'll cause you some problems. I think it probably causes more problems on there because you're going a lot faster than you are around that particular stage. I kind of got away with, well, scraped the car along the ground, or spun the car, in fact, along the ditch, but never mind. Okay, special stage. Maybe it isn't. Maybe there are 6 stages, and then we have a finale as the kind of stadium race. I'm not 100% sure. We will see. Okay, where are we going to? Game? No, we are going to another proper stage. So maybe it is the 7th stage. That has the kind of stadiums. I'm still 4th overall, and I think I've got quite a hefty margin back to a 5th place, which is good, but it's quite a long way to go to catch the leaders. Yeah, I don't think we have too much in the way of damage on my car, which is good. We haven't kind of got wheels wobbling around yet, so I'll take that as a plus point. Kind of... a little bit of a shame that Dirt Rally doesn't have the... I know the Dirt Rally does have Rallycross and so on, but it's the kind of the special stages in the stadiums are always my favourite parts of it. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I always loved racing around them. It was just something that little bit that little bit different. That was always good. One kind of Race of Champions-esque course. You don't really see that course in, well, any games, to be fair. I have played a mod for it in Assetto Corsa, but aside from that, yeah, you don't really see them kind of arenas making an appearance. It's a shame. It'd be a great place to have races, something like Forza or whatever, including those sort of arenas, because you could have one that's all tarmac based. Don't have to have a dirt based one, and yeah, that would be quite an interesting thing to go race with. I don't remember these Colin Mcrae games having tarmac ones, but yeah, certainly they could be included, I think, in more games. It's just a slightly different, almost a different form of racing, and that's always good in my book. Something a little different. Oh God, this is really dark. Could we have headlights, please? If we could have some headlights, that would be lovely. I may have to boost the brightness in the video because this is so super dark. I have talked about this before. I think my TV does make some of these old games a little bit darker. They weren't quite exactly designed for a modern TV, but this is super dark. Careful now. I don't think it's quite as bad as the stuntman driving through a hangar bit. Not a hangar, warehouse, whatever it was. Where it was literally just completely and utterly pitch black for me. Oh, no, now we've driven off a bloody road. We're going this way now. Yeah, could do with some rally lights on my Focus. I will be honest. Oh, careful now. There we go. Right. Oh God, don't end up in the barrier. And I don't quite know what handbrake. That's what handbrake is. Handbrake is circle. Okay, we can maybe possibly remember. Not that I very rarely. I know. I guess in dirt rally I do very occasionally. On the most part, I tend to avoid using a handbrake. I know in rallying, people will argue you should probably slide the car more. I find that he's still wasting time. Only the really tightest hairpins is ever important. It's better to be smooth. Certainly, that's what I've found. And yeah, I very, very rarely use the handbrake. It's only the really, really, really tight hairpins that I find it particularly useful on. So yeah, that is the first time I have in this entire rally felt the need to at least try and find the button. In the end, I didn't really make a huge amount of difference or help with the particular corner, and certainly the way this car gets turned in, you don't actually need to. Just yank the steering and the front end will get turned in and the back will do whatever the hell it feels like. So, hey, there we go. We actually got 3 seconds over the Subaru in that particular stage, which is nice. Let's go see where we line up overall. I believe... Oh, we'll go to a service area... maybe there's more stages. Maybe there's 9 per country. That could be right, actually. Let's have a look. No. Okay, so we do finish off. Right. I did want to show this off because these are awesome. We are going cloudy. So there are tarmac ones. I lied. There are tarmac special stages. Cool. Yeah. Let us continue the rally. We will finish off. Now, I believe that this will... I'm assuming I went into this in 4th, so I think this will be the battle between me and the car in 3rd. So this will be the decider for who gets the last spot on the podium. I think that's how it works. Certainly the first one that I did at Australia, I was leading the rally, and I came into here and was battling with... okay, no, I lied. I'm 2nd versus 3rd. Maybe it's just time then for the special stage. You just actually are racing against another car. Okay, never mind. Completely and utterly ignore me what I was saying. I thought, yeah, in the first one I did at Australia, came into the special stage leading the race or leading the rally, and I lost to the car that I was against, which and then I ended up 2nd overall. I think I was 2nd overall. I don't actually remember now, so maybe I wasn't. This is a really interesting... Are we racing around the motorway? It does kind of look like we are here a little bit. I think we... Okay, that is a completely new... I do not remember this. Okay, now thinking about it, I might have... I know I lost the race. I thought they gave me 2nd in the overall rally. Now I'm not 100% sure. It got me questioning myself now. Oh, God. And I'm right there. This is a really peculiar special stage you've got going on here. It kind of feels like half of a stadium built bit and half is just general motorway. They've just found the most. I know what they've done. They've found the most interesting junction in the entirety of Spain, a bit like sort of Spaghetti Junction and whatnot, and have decided the best thing to possibly do here is to race rally cars around it. And I approve. I think that is a fantastic decision of a thing to do with a incredibly complicated junction. But yeah, how am I 2 seconds? Maybe I'm 2 seconds up on the fastest time, but. Of course, because we swapped sides, so I was going to say, how am I going quicker despite losing, but the different sides may be slightly varying in length, so that could explain it. Yeah, this is definitely just a motorway. They've got street lamps and everything up here. Oh, get off the wall, get off the wall, please get off the wall, car, thank you. We've just about finally got that. Oh, no, don't turn in too soon. Oh... Yeah, okay, I'm having a little fight with the car. Hey, there we go, we're fine. We're not fine. We're bouncing off the wall again. Please get off the wall. I'm not having much luck. You see, that's definitely a stadium there. Okay, so there is a grandstand next to a motorway intersection. Awesome. That is a hefty stadium as well. You know, that's not like one of the portable little grandstands either. Or it doesn't look like it. Right, we are... actually been quite a good race between me and the Citroen. That's a faster corner, or a slower corner. I was going too fast for the corner. That's what we're going to go for in all of that. Now we're across the top of the bridge. Don't smack into stuff. Don't smack into anything. And brakes down into here. Probably third gear would work. We are going to take a victory. Just about. Not by a huge amount. That is a fascinating arena. I'm rather interested by that particular arena. Well, I won my my sprint race, and that is going to put me third overall, apparently. Maybe that battle was between me and who knows? Who knows? A little bit confusing at times, trying to keep up with quite where you are in the championship. It doesn't necessarily tell you a huge amount in a couple of places. I've got third, though, after an abysmal start to the rally. First and second were absurdly close over that entire thing. Right, which will put me second in the championship. I did get second in Australia. I thought I did. I think I lost it on the final one there. Yeah. Colin Mcrae Rally 3 is almost as good a game as I remember. I remember all the lovely little details. Stages were great. The rallies were a fantastic challenge. The handling is a little bit woollier. I think I'm going to go with that than I perhaps remember. It's one of those that I would have to spend a bit more time getting used to again. But yeah, it's been good fun coming back to these games. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.